as you can see, I got that first one in there. Now I haven't rounded the corners or anything. I was just getting the length of the holes to match where I wanted them. I still have done nothing to the other one yet. So now that we got the holes and everything, we'll clamp the two together, drill the holes to match, round the corners, both ends, and we should be good. So I'll be back when I get them in. Didn't show you this earlier. Got this little coupler, if you will, and I'm going to use it as a spacer in here. Obviously I'm going to have to cut it down. I had no idea how thick these were going to be and such. So looks like we'll be cutting, oh, just short of a ½ inch off there, I think. So we'll be back when we're actually got the two pieces of metal both in there, and when they're both rounded off. And then we'll be measuring for this, and then we'll take it, I'm just going to put this in there for now, get the right length, and then I'll bolt the two pieces of metal together with this in it, and that'll give me the width I need to cut that piece that's going to go down the middle that I'm going to weld in, kind of like a web on like an I-beam. So when I get the other one drilled, cut, rounded off, and bolted in place, we're fitting this, we'll be back. Just wanted to see where I was at. That's just really roughed in. I only cut that side off. Still need to cut those angles off, of course. Starting to kind of round this in. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, this is just rough cuts. I mean, I still have to clean everything up. But kind of the gist of what it'll look like. Put the bolts in it to kind of keep them both together so I can do them identical. Haven't done anything on the other side yet. Still just big square. I think that'll work. And then this will be the top. It'll actually sit inside the frame like this. So I'm rounding those off so it doesn't hit on the frame there. The bottom really doesn't matter because it kind of sits out in the open anyway. I'm just going to round those points off, kind of, well, pretty much like I did the top, just so it looks pretty. Not that buried underneath there anyone's ever going to see it, but again, like everything else, I know it's in there, and I want it to look good. It's just how I am. Alright, so I'm going to continue working on this, get all four corners rounded off. At that point I'll tear it all apart, take those two bolts out, make a test fit, make sure everything's good. Then I'll go over it with, I don't know, probably 400 grit sandpaper and just sand it down so it'll hold the paint good. I decided not to powder coat it. I found this Rust-Oleum paint. I can put it in my air sprayer. It's just as good, if not better. It's going to be completely protected under there. And again, you can't see it. So I think as long as I get a nice thick coat on there, I might put 3 or 4 coats on it actually, just so that rocks coming up off the ground or what have you hit it, they don't chip all the way through and rust through them. I think we should be good. Powder coating them, I was going to do $300. Serious? $300. Plating them, that was the other option. I was going to get them chrome plated. I looked into that. It's actually not that bad. That's only going to cost like $85 to chrome plate them. Just, it's not triple plated or anything like everything else. Not that it needs to be because it's buried. But it would take them about 2 weeks to get to me. They're pretty backed up over here at Lincoln Plating, or whatever they changed their name to. But yeah, I don't want to wait that time. I don't want to spend that kind of money. So we're going to put some Rust-Oleum paint on it. Primer it, you know, Rust-Oleum. Shouldn't need a clear coat. I think if I get a good 3 coats of paint on it, we should be good. Then we go ahead and get the rest of these rounded off. Test fit it. I'm sure I'll have to make some minute adjustments here and there, but hopefully we'll be bolting these on very soon. And then just a little update again. Got that other side all rounded off. Again, this isn't perfect. We're just roughing it in at the moment. So this will be the top end. I really should mark that. This is the bottom end. Got one corner rounded off. Kind of hard to see. There we go. Maybe there you can see it. And again, just roughed in. Take off this other corner here. And then we'll be able to test fit. Now I've had a couple people ask me, you know, about all the equipment and tools. Yep, I'm using a 4-inch grinder. No lathe, no TIG welder. No, using a 4-inch grinder. It's just cold rolled steel. The strength's going to come in when I put them, you know, side by side in there, and then weld a couple ladder pieces in between them. I'm actually waiting right now for it all to cool off. It's kind of hot. And probably ought to change out my disc. I don't know. Well, actually, before I change it out, I'll cut that other corner off. That actually kills those discs. I am using a cutoff wheel. But yeah, that's hand tools. Well, you can see them right there. And I got a cordless drill. Cordless drill, gotta tell you, I got a corded one around here somewhere. My corded run only runs at, I found I was trying to drill those holes, it only runs at like 1200 RPM. My cordless one runs at 2800 RPM. And you can see the stack of batteries over there, 4 of them. But yeah, just another update. I'll get that other corner rounded off. I'll come back then. We'll continue. Alright, got them both cut, both rounded off. Got the spacer in there at the top. Don't have it bolted at the bottom. Put a bolt in there to make sure it fits, and it does. But it does pull my jack down, and I'm going to take them off and paint it, so I don't want to scratch anything up until I'm actually done. I just want to make sure it fits. Like I said, it's all going to be buried. You won't be able to see it, but it starts here. It's all the way down to there. Actually, it'll be out there when I get the bolt in it. You can see it just goes right that bottom hole. Yeah, I think we're done. I was going to put some pieces of metal in there like I was telling you, kind of like an I-beam. I was told not to do that. Apparently, if you make it too rigid, like if you hit something, or if whatever, maybe if you're in an accident, let's hope that doesn't happen, but let's just say those pieces of metal, the 3-foot piece, cost me $10. If anything bends, you want it to be that. If it's going to give, you want it to be that little cheap steel, nothing of the chromoly. So I was told not to do that, so that if it has to flex, it can bend those, and those are easy to replace. Pain in the butt to get to, but easy to replace. If you bend the frame, well, you're hosed. That's something you don't want to do. As far as strength goes, you can see those tabs coming out here at the top. They're like an 1/8 inch. They got some washers and stuff on, that's why they look thicker, but they're only an 1/8 inch thick. 2 pieces of steel I put in are 1/4 inch each, so a 1/2 inch of steel. If you go over here to the shock itself, just under 1/4, maybe. so saves me from more welding and more grinding. We'll try it, we'll see. If they all say that's all I need to do, then when I say they, I'm actually talking about the trike forum. I've been on there a little bit talking to guys before I realized the shock had to come out and the strut had to go in. And they're, yeah, helpful guys. None of them have done a V-Star. None of them made a trike. Honestly, most of them on there that from what I've seen, they've all sent their stuff off to be done by some other company. Probably 98% of them. The few that have done their own have made their own frame, made their own tray. I mean, literally, they bent the steel, cut the steel, they made the whole thing. You know, I'm using a kit. So I'm kind of, there's only like 1 or 2 of us on there that have made a kit. The other guy doesn't know how to take a picture, I guess. He just gets on and asks questions. He doesn't, I think he's just learning, or I don't know. Good for him for trying. Hopefully it works out. But there's mine. Pretty much done. I'm going to take it all out, sand that steel down. Just sanding it so there's a surface, get rid of the oil and fingerprints and grime so the paint has a good surface to stick to. Slap 3 coats of this Rust-Oleum stuff on there. I got the glossy stuff so I don't have to do it. Just the paint itself says it's guaranteed for 15 years. Rattle can. Like I said, it's underneath. Doesn't have to be the most prettiest thing. I mean, I'm actually pretty good. I was going to put it in my air sprayer, but by the time I mixed it all up, got it all in, clean up, take care of it, can of this is like $8. And pretty sure 1 can is going to cover the whole thing. It's just those 2 little flat pieces of metal. The spacer I'm going to leave as is. It's galvanized, it can't rust anyway. And my hopes, things always happen, but my hopes, I'm never going to see those 2 pieces of metal again, ever. They're going to be buried under there, they're going to stay under there, they're going to work, they're not going to fail. I'm never going to look at them again after this. That's my hope. The only thing I have to service is obviously greasing everything, obviously oil and the engine maintenance. I should never have to touch them again. Ever. They don't move. They're completely solid. In fact, I could weld them in. I'm not going to. I'm just going to bolt them. Just saying, they're never going anywhere if things work the way they're supposed to. Alright then, going over to the paint booth and check out our parts. Well, they should be plenty dry by now. Well, not perfect, but it'll do. A little bit of a point there I didn't want. Oh well. Let's see what the other one looks like. Oh, not too bad. Baked them. Well, painted them obviously. And then baked them at about 115 degrees for about 4 hours. No, I don't have an oven. I did it outside in the sun. Put them in there and put a black cardboard thingy on top that was black. Had a little thermometer in there. Got up to 115. Kind of stayed right about 112, 114 at the lowest, and then I think a couple times it got up to about 120, but most often when I checked it, it was 115. So, yeah, 3 coats of black Rust-Oleum, that's what it was. Not perfect, but did it myself. That can of paint cost me like $8. And they're going to be buried way down inside there that nobody's going to see, nobody's going to even know anything about. They shouldn't rust, they shouldn't chip, they should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting them in here. And I think just the way everything is at the bottom and the top, I'm going to put the bottom one in first. The bottoms, get the nut on. Because the top one, I think I'm going to have to fiddle with it a little bit. And I think if I'm going to have to fiddle, I'd rather be up top where I have more room. So, I'll be back when I have them bolted in. I'll have the spacer in, as you can see down there. I'll have that in there. And I'll show you that. Alright, well that was actually pretty easy. Got them bolted in. Now what you can see down there in the dark. Still have to put this piece back in. They're quite solid. No wiggling. That spacer was perfect. Hopefully you can see all that. I still have the jacks under it because I haven't got that latch bolt in right here. Goes in there. So yeah, with that being black, in the middle of black, yeah. We're good. I'm going to go ahead and get that last one bolted in, get the jacks out of the way, and we'll come back and take a look at it. Well, no jacks. Sitting all on its own. Got those struts in there, all bolted in. You can see the jacks pulled out over there. And yeah, you can see better from over here. Look at that, now it works on the trike suspension. So, I think we're good. I already slid the body forward on these mounts while I was waiting for the paint to dry. Still have to go inside and drill 2 yet new holes because I slid the body forward. I'm hoping I can use the original ones I had. If not, I'll make new ones. I got some fiberglass. We'll patch the holes that we don't need, repaint it in there. It'll be great. But yeah, this doesn't move anymore. So now I'm curious what the steering's going to be like. I think it's going to be even better, to be honest, because it's not sitting. You know, when I sat on it, that thing dropped. Now it's going to stay up, front end's going to stay out. We need to get this bolted together because I need to go ride it and find out. Thing is, I have to go to the doctor tomorrow. Some kind of nerve conductive testing stuff. So who knows? I may not be able to do much anytime real soon. Might be a day or two. But at least it's back on its own wheels, no jacks, no other supports. I still got like an hour tonight. I'll probably get this all buttoned together. I know I'm not going to even get to the body because to drill the one hole I have to take the exhaust off because it goes right underneath where that spot is. So I got to figure out and see if I remember how this goes back together. I'm glad I take videos. No, that should be pretty straightforward. Get that back in, get the battery compartment bolted back in, put the battery in, seats on it. Pretty much this end's done. 2 bolts in the back for the body. I think we're in the ballpark. Now that the main issue that I wasn't even aware of until a few days ago is fixed. Suspension's fixed. Passenger may not enjoy their ride as much. Might have to see about getting a gel seat for the back. That might be a little rough. I'm going to adjust the shocks on the back now and the air pressure in the tires, like everybody on the forums was saying. Now that that shock's out of there and the strut's doing its job. Alright, I'm going to get it all buttoned together and we'll be back. Alright, got this side all put back together. You can't really see them down in there anymore with this up. But now it swings back in and there's this piece that slides in there and then we can put the seats on. But it is, you can see that, almost 2:30 in the morning, 82 degrees, 2:26 a.m. I'm done for the night. We got a lot done. I still have to hook up the battery and stuff, but I don't want to hook that up and then go to bed in case I did something stupid. We'll do that tomorrow, and then I mean that's it. I mean, put the battery in, put the seats on. We're going for a ride. Make sure all the lights and everything work. Oh hell, you're right. We got to bolt the back of the body down. Oh, I'm getting excited. It's late. I'm tired. Yeah, we got to do the 2 holes in the back for the body. Oh, I had myself convinced I was going to go for a ride tomorrow morning. Darn it. Alright, tomorrow afternoon. All we're doing is drilling through a little piece of plywood and fiberglass. I can get 2 holes done pretty quick. That does mean we have to pop the exhaust off. 2 bolts on each pipe, so 4 bolts there, and then 2 back here. There they are. So 3 on each pipe. Take them off, not a big deal. Everything's brand new, so it slides off pretty easy actually. And I'm hoping that is the last time I take it off. Those 2 holes in the back. Looking at the body, I don't know, looks good, straight. I mean, the couple of things I've noted is the framework where it's bent. I didn't do any of that. Seems a little off on that side. And then of course I cut it way more than what was needed because I was trying to fix the suspension, which turned out to be my bad because I had a shock in there. We know better. We fixed. We're done. They didn't send me a part. As far as I know, he's still waiting on his boss to decide whether or not they can even make the part and if they're going to send it to me. Look guys, I'm done. Thanks anyway. Well, got it almost back together. Still has some adjustments on the body. I haven't bolted that down or anything. You can see it still lifts up. Got to drill them out. Got to drop the exhaust, do that. I got everything else done so it has the appearance of being done. Got this in the mail today. From Extreme Trike. Smell it. That's spray paint. See it there? You can get it in the light. I mean, it's not a bad job, but yeah, that's spray paint. But look how thick it is. That'd be great. My other videos, you saw the 2 bars that I made. This would work up here for going in between on the top of the bike. On the bottom of the bike is just like this though. It's the opposite. I don't know. Did they think I was just going to go to one side? I don't know. Love the idea. He didn't email me or nothing. He just showed up and via FedEx today. I've already got mine done. You can see it's over there. Let's see over here. Yeah, the bike don't move. The suspension on the trike does. So yeah, that part fixed. You know, all they had to do is shoot me an email, throw a little note in there, hey, change out that shock, put a strut in. So yeah, that's done. Got that all bolted up, got the battery parts done. Still got to put the little cover in for the battery. It's sitting on top over there. But cover that up. Drop the exhaust off because the one hole that it drills is like right above the exhaust. You can see how little to no room there is right there. Not enough room to get a drill. So pop that off. And that's pretty easy. It's just 2 bolts on each pipe, and then the clamps up here. They're there. Drill the holes. I'm going to fiddle with it a little bit. I'm not happy with the way it looks from the side. It looks like it's still too far back. I'm going to try and bring it forward more. If I have to, I'll put spacers in front of this. But yeah, I want to bring it as far forward as I possibly can. I don't like the way the wheel well sets. And now that I actually have a choice and I don't have to worry about this hitting the body anymore. Remember before? Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to slide it all the way up at least another inch. I mean, that'll cover up a lot of that hole that I made that didn't need to. That'll also bring this forward an inch, cover up to here, I'm thinking. I'm making some flat boards back here, wherever the body ends up. I'm just doing this for just show now. And it won't be this long. It'll only be about maybe this long to where my thumb is, minus the dog hair. Depending on if it's this far back or this far forward, wherever the body ends up being. So, got a couple of those pieces left. Plus the one Extreme Trike sent me that I don't even know how I would use it. In the middle on the top makes sense, but on the bottom, you know, so this would be the top coming in. I could just clamp it in between, but on the bottom, it's got to go around. So, guys, great idea, like the whole trike thing, just needs a little work. You know, I think they would have been better off. Maybe put 2 of these together. You can see there where they missed it with the paint. Anyway, put 2 of these side by side. Top part would be great. I think that would have bolted right in. And then on the bottom, instead of drilling a hole through it, or even on the top even, just put like a round tube, 1/2-inch tube, weld it to the top of it. Maybe they can send it out and get it welded. But do that, and then on the bottom, if it's this thick, you know, double this thickness, right? Weld a flat piece of metal down on each side on the thickness, so it'd go around that bottom part. Maybe in their future kits. Something to think about. If you're watching this, Mac, like I said, thanks. The idea is great, but well, fell a little short. I mean, you can see what I'm talking about there. Bottom of the shock has the Y clamp, or the Y, like a football tree. Hell, I can't even think what it's called. Touchdown posts. There's no way I could take that bar you sent me and do much with it. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to slide that body forward a lot, as far as I can possibly do it, until the top part there hits, or comes close. I don't want to hit, but comes close to the supports for the sissy bar. That's this. It's about 1.5 inches or so. Bring that all forward. Put spacers on the front if I need to. Yeah. Hell. The other nice thing about doing that is the exhaust tips will stick out a little further if I bring it. They actually look good now though. Or at least I think so. But yeah, that'll be another 1 inch of exhaust pipe. They'll be sticking out. So that's where I'm at. I'm probably not going to get a whole lot done in the next couple days. I'm probably going to go ahead and upload these videos up to this point because it at least looks like it's done. The body, you've seen me do that in another video. So when I get that done, and then this weekend we'll go for another ride, I'll get the camera flipped around where you can see the back and what's going on, and call it good. But yeah, I think I'll go ahead and upload this video, and the ones with this whole strut issue with the shock, the suspension, go ahead and get that uploaded tonight. And well, despite all the setbacks, all the issues, we're done. As far as body and all that, obviously I need to do some cleaning. Yes, it's all done. Yep, I left the kickstand on. Does it serve any purpose? Nope. I might take it off later. The only thing it does is when it's down, it kills the bike if you put it in gear. There's a little button right there to push it. Got all the trim. I went through, glued it on, took the exhaust off, used the existing holes in the back. I didn't have to drill nothing. Got them done. Got the bolts fronted up, or the front bolted on. Got the exhaust put back on. Battery's in, not plugged in. I leave it unhooked when I'm not using it. And as you can see, I definitely have to polish everything. I haven't done any of that. Once I had the body off, I did rebleed the back brakes. Huge improvement. Actually, just got everything bolted on. The old holes I filled in with fiberglass putty, and I just threw some black paint on it. Covered up the nuts and bolts and all that good stuff too. That'll take a couple hours to dry. And then this stuff I'll line the bottom with like I did before. You know, I'll cut it to fit and all that good stuff. A little softer on the bottom of the helmets, my sunglasses, whatever else I might throw in there. And that's it. Paper's just on there, so I didn't get paint on anything else, obviously. With this thing on there, that wire and everything that I had in there, that harness, I couldn't get my hands in there like I could before and zip tie it right up to the fender all nice and neat. So I do have to figure out a way to tie that up. I just remembered. Other than that little wire harness, I'll probably just run it up to the body. But yeah, I got all the trim stuff glued on. You can see it in the back. Next step, before I clean it and all that, I'll throw you up on the handlebars. We'll go around the neighborhood. I say a lot, I know. Tomorrow's Saturday. I just got off work. I ain't got much daylight left. She's cooking dinner, so it'll probably be tomorrow before I actually go for a test ride with everything. I'll go by myself, see how it rides. The shocks, I did adjust both sides, front and back, all the way to their lowest settings. I might turn them back up, but we'll see. The only thing I was ever worried about was that back hitting the body and cracking it. That's no longer an issue. So yeah, tomorrow afternoon I'll go for a ride. Any little tweaks I might do, I can't really think of anything. Everything's tight, everything's done. The only thing might be adjust those springs, maybe the tire pressure when I got a second person on. I really can't see anything else I would do. And then if no issues when I go riding around and back, I'll go around again with a second person up there. Bounce it around a little bit. There's that again. Trying to think. You know, I mean, at most might let some air out of the tires if she says it's too hard. I'm pretty sure we're gonna change the seat out. Get one with a gel pack, because this thing, you know, I sat on it. I didn't ride anywhere. I just sat on it. That thing's a freaking rock. You know, I mean, it gives. It's got foam, but nobody's ever sat there to break that cushion down like this. You know, this is soft. This, not so much. And then that don't give at all, but that's just a lean on. That should be okay. There's that word again. I keep saying that. You guys are going to start playing like take a drink of your shot every time I say I got to quit doing that. Yeah, I can't really, anything I might add to it, like if I decide to put a Karakian breather on the front, put some LEDs, I don't know. Other than looks, that doesn't do anything for me, other than make me have to rejet the carburetor, which is, a couple $100. So I think we probably won't be doing that. Thought about putting an LED light kit under it, light up the motor. Yeah, I'm still thinking about that. If I do, I'll put it up. Let's see. Still need to do that little fin light or spoiler LED something. That's about the only other thing. Oh, and the luggage rack curved fender thingies that match this. I'll be putting those on. One on each side, obviously. Just kind of break up all that black. Put a little chrome right here and right there. Yeah, I think we're, I think the next videos you're going to see, hopefully, are just me riding around. I still have to get the camera mounted back here somehow, some way. You can see behind me. Maybe I'll mount you like this. So you can see the body and the fender and everything and how it bends and works and suspension, all that. Take a drink. That should be... And I think that's pretty much it for the build with this video. Like I said, unless I come up with something else, I'm going to go ahead. This will be the last one. And then we'll switch over to just rides. Damn, you're going to be drunk before the end of this. Take another drink. Before, that tank looked so big. Now it looks so small. That's a 6-gallon fuel tank on there.